Okay, hello. So I'm gonna read a story every Monday and Wednesday. So we begin today with this one called A Knight in Shining Armor. I'm a Brownie fan, by the way, so don't question it. I don't gonna listen if you talk about it anyway. The playground was nearly abound as Princess Cadence and the young Twilight Sparkle descended happily onto the ground. Its ground. Twilight, of course, holding directly of inventing swing seat. Twilight, Princess Cadence giggled quietly as Twilight jumped up onto the right swing, which was her favorite, and said in her little filly voice, "Push me, Cadence!" Princess Cadence once again giggled. She got it up to the rear end of the swing and gave Twilight a gentle push and laughed as Twilight let out the excitement "Whee!" and smiled that cute little smile wearing her heart every time she saw it. Eventually, the two friends struck up a conversation, as they always did when Princess Cadence falls out for Twilight. Twilight said, "I'm so lucky and heavy as my floss eater." Princess Cadence smiled, and having been told this regularly by Twilight, and replied, "I'm the one who's lucky, Twilight." She smiled more with push the past. Twilight replied with, "But you're a princess." Cadence rolled her eyes playfully, not really caring that she was royalty in the first place, and listened to Twilight finish. "I'm just a regular old unicorn." Tristan stopped the pushing and pulled Twilight playful off the swing as she cuddled her and said, "You're anything but a regular old unicorn." Then sat Twilight down on the ground, and the two did their special hoof shake, rejecting each word of doing each playful move in unions. As all good times unfortunately must, their day ended rather swiftly for Twilight Sparkle's parents returned from home from their accomplishment early, and the two were forced to part part ways. Princess Cadence and Twilight living their tide and so some degree imagining. Parting hugs before they did, of course. Of course. Twilight Sparkle stood in the open doorway and waved bye to Cadence as she walked off, exciting when now for the next season she would have with her full sitter. Princess Cadence turned around and smiled, waving back to Twilight as she cut the corner and headed for Greater Canterlot. While she was walking through the bustling streets, she heard her stomach growl. Whoa! She forward down at it and it as she smelled of packaged goods, freshly cobbled saddles, and delicate fruits. Wait up wafted up into her nostrils. She haven't eaten all day, having sacrificed her planned lunch time to play in the park with Twilight. Putting a smile on her face, she walked over to a nearby salad kiosk and ordered herself something to eat and drink. Taking a solo seat at a wa- at a nearby table after doing so. While Princess Kate was royalty, it was true that she hasn't very social. She wasn't very social. What was meaning of course. Meaning of course that she didn't have the many friends and arguments as opposed to Princess Kate, Celestia, or other of the royal family. Oh my god. I don't know where I am! It was true that she wasn't very social. Now I've been there. Royal family, and it crunched Princess Kate and sat currently in her chair, casting the unfinished magical spell on her mane to fluff it up or correct the cranes. Entertaining herself and quelled her boredom. The time when Twilight and Cadance had to leave each other was the time of Cadance that Cadance often drawed most. Twilight was more than a fool to Fawcett. She was a friend. A short time later, Princess Cadance finished her meal and again used her magic to gently pat her lips clean. She got up to the toss her garb in the can, thanked the vendor once more, and walked back out into the bustling street. Not really wearing to return to the palace just yet, Chaos decided to walk around Canterlot and Window Shop, an activity which she really had time to do. Staying out of Shame Street she had been on. Keynes walked straight ahead and looked aside the window compared the gorgeous gems, elegant dress, and fine monterines. Whilst she was looking at some dresses, she eyed a wedding dress. Its beauty stunned her. The perfect woven, the way the elegant dress designed perfectly forced once. I too stared, and when the way it was positioned on the model all struck her with a longing. She smiled to herself and knew that someday she was wearing a dress just like that. Just like it. Then her pony friend, a stallion friend, showed up. Champion was a large black brooch, the head of the royal guard, and what seemed to be one of the largest stallion in Equestria. "There are you!" Champion spoke to her hatefully. "When I've been looking for you all day. Where in name of Where where in the name of equestria have you been? He demanded. Cadence went back to looking at her dress and said, false-hitting, quietly as she looked away from him. The champion started to raise his voice. Well, what's your problem? I was only asking. You don't have to be so uptight about it. Cadence turned and said, I'm not uptight. As soon as those words left her mouth, Champion raised his great hoof and struck Princess Cadence clear across with the face with it, seeming to not care they were in public. Princess Cadence's eyes were worthing her and head turned in shame as she held a hoof her inventory. What did you say to me? A flash of anger could be seen in Champion's straight brown eyes. Head still turned, Cadence replied, Nothing. I didn't say anything. Quietly, her voice choked with tears. Champion turned swiftly and said, I thought so. Now, come along, Cadence. Me and you have experts at the dinner party tonight, which I'm sure you would known if you wouldn't have been so busted with your stupid false hitting. Princess Cadence wanted to say otherwise, but she knew that it was going would only get her into more trouble. She was afraid. Yes, I suppose you're right, was all she could manage. Princess Cadence then hung her head in shame and walked at the slow pace behind Champion. As she walked, Cadence thought seemingly to herself, through keeping her senses alert in case Champion were to ask her a question or something. She knew he would get when she ignored him. Through all the thinking, she thought about how Champion was right. Maybe she was have skipped false hitting today to spend the most of her time preparing for the royal party dinner party. He was doing it all in my best interest, right? She thought as she continued to walk. Maybe he is the stallion I decided to marry. Okay, so it was chapter 1. I'm gonna leave a link in description so you can read with me. And next week we're gonna go to chapter 2. Whee! So yeah. Now you know my little secret that my friends think is not a secret, just how I feel. Anyway, see you another day, another time. Bye.